Wasting more energy, whereas if you're spinning around, you're doing less lifting.
Lift him up, and you come around, then you'll go on flat, start putting the...
Oh, yeah.
You roll in that pressure on that, and you keep that body down, going under mine.
And sometimes, look, when you're doing that, you're lifting that up. Right. Turn around like that. And then you flatten it out. Yep. You want to put a blow here. Don't be afraid to touch your man, so hold him like that, because you're not going to hit yourself. Yep. Put a blow in. Yeah, you're right, buddy. You got him. Yep. Now you're down to the legs now, bud. There you go, butter. But not too hard, because you will pull it in. Back yet, so you lift up. Yeah. Is that the practice already? No, you grab him up here now. Yeah, like here. Right here, you're going to have to pick this leg up, cross it up, see how you move it up. There you go, butter. Yeah. That's it, and slide. Roll it in front of the back. Yeah. Pick up on the back. You keep the first one here. What the main thing you've got to do is make sure you stand here. It's free. Lift him up like that. No, you've got the head pushing it in. That's my name, that gets on here, right? You've got him nice and comfortable here? Just run up and do it. That's what we've done. Because when you start grabbing him, you start moving around. So now put your head there. Yep, and put your skin up and down. Yep, go here first. Over. Come out. Yep, right. Right out. That'll be. Yeah, that'll be. No, yeah, remember. Yep. Stand there, please. Yep. Here goes over there. This one's going to go in here. Alright? Now, someone take all this wool off. Now you're taking all the short stuff. Right here. Push down. I want that to be straight. So come here. Start from here, but I'll do the Like this.
Doesn't matter if her head falls down, that's okay. Right, so that it lifts up. Now I can see.
No.
Okay. Come on. Cool.
Not better.
Okay.
Now what up? Around here? Okay, going all the way through?
Here's one. See how I'm dragging it?
Listen up, boys. Oi, listen up. Filming. It's some documentary stuff. So if they want to have a yarn to you, just go along outside or whatever and have a yarn and you Kobe, do it. Kobe, hurry up. They're going to have a smoke on it. These blokes are just
Watch out, Paulie, move. So just hold that, yeah, that's probably a good idea. If you're going to stand there, hold that. Alright, so.
How'd you come out of that pit? He's in position. Trying to get him like that.
So come here, Paulie, come closer. So, we're holding our sheep.
We can't get away from him.
Got our knees holding your head.
When you want to lift him, you come forward. Spring him
Make it
forward.
easy for this hand.
See that?
Alright?
While he's sitting there,
There you go.
you're going to grab your hands around. You got out of my first, eh?
Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure she's sitting right.
Maybe if I will do it,
Because otherwise you won't be able to do anything. She's got a more spot.
this one, hold him up. Okay. So he's sitting with you.
Ready?
Make sure he's sitting up. Okay. Step up on him, Paulie. Don't be starting to come down. You can
Pull it down hard.
make it easy.
Mark,
You
pull
stretch
it
it
hard.
like this
You're
here.
looking at what he's
What's
doing.
going down?
Yeah, Chris?
Catch it here. Go, you wear that.
So what's happened is she wasn't looking after the sheep. Alright, you need to hold your knees together. Alright, you ready?
What do you do for this? That was fair on you? See how this? Like now you went in between piles back. Come on, Chris.
All right, so now.
There you go. Turn your toes in. Turn your toes in, place your toes in, it'll knock your knees in. Come in, you're going to get a photo.
Go ahead and move it. Oh, yeah. And when you do that here, there's just one bang.
Yeah, smoker time. Number 2.
No, I'll need to give away. Otherwise, yeah, I can do that. That's good.
I've got the game over here. Yeah. This one here might be just a little bit on
Without turn?
We got to turn
What got the old one or the new one?
I've got half one over there, 3/4
Lined up, yeah.
You know, no, you've lost sight, see, like that? Make sure he's straight. See?
Yeah. Level or level.
Yeah, level, yeah.
That's when you got back there on. Clips in there.
Yeah, now see that there? Flute him up a bit. Now you put him in. No, you grab him. That's right. Put him in. No, you do your finger like that. Keep your finger like that. That's right. That there got to go in that hole there. See that little pin? That's got to go in there. And then
Slide them in.
you can lift him up a bit. So he can walk, see?
Yeah, this is the Kendenup Noongar inaugural shearing school. We've sort of been talking over the last few years about starting up an initiative to get our younger men and women employed in the smaller towns towns such as Mount Barker, Noangarup, Cranbrook, Tambalup, Bree-Mill, Katanning, Kendenup. These towns for our Noongar people are really limited for opportunities. The shearing industry is probably the only industry that can sustain them and give them employment in these little towns. So we come from a long line of, down in the Great Southern, a long line of Noongar shearing teams and shearers. We just, our older boys, our older shearers have come together, and we want to provide the young fellas with opportunities to take up shearing. Just a little bit of history on the farm itself. Timmy and Val Saggers, they've been employing a Noongar shearing team for the last 30 odd years. We've been just here talking about how we can go about setting up a school, using their farm and to set up a school for our Noongar kids. Over the last year, I've been working towards getting it out there and getting it known, and speaking to the right people and trying to lift it off the ground, so to speak. Last week we put a flyer around to all the towns. We didn't really know how many people we were going to get, or if anybody would show up. But as you can see today, with the numbers of boys here, that they have the same feeling as what we do about shearing, So we would have, it would have to be 25 young fellas from the different towns of Katanning, Kendenup, Tambalup, Noangarup, and Albany and Barker. So, it's been a really overwhelming turnout, and I think on to bigger and better things from here. We look at like statistics, youth incarceration, all this sort of stuff in the state as it stands now. It's 260,000 per inmate per year in juvenile detention. You times that by 5 over 5 years. That's $1 million per kid. We want to get the state or somebody to fund us to create an ongoing school where we want to train 100 kids over 5 years at a budget of maybe 3 to 5 million. So that's sort of what we're working on doing, setting up a camp school, and we can work on the juvenile justice system. We can do the kids that aren't engaging in school, the ones who have got less education than the others, that can't find jobs, so they turn to stealing. That's both boys and girls. We want to deter the alcohol and the drugs within our kids. So the initiative is really about elders trying to make a change for ourselves, rather than all these government schemes that don't seem to be working at the moment. We want to take the initiative into our own hands and train our own kids and teach our own kids, not only in shearing but in culture, life skills, things like getting up to go to work in the morning. It doesn't matter whether they become shearers, but they might get a job on a mine or something, and so all of a sudden that kid is working. They'll be able to support their families, support their kids in school. It's the only way that we can see that it's going to change our people down here, like bring them up to the same level as mainstream Australia. Yeah, the good thing about the shearing, working in a shearing shed is, you get up, you start early. There's no age barriers. I bring my little 7 and 10-year-old boys out here, and they spend the day in the shearing shed. and they what they pick up off the elders is invaluable in their life, you know. One of my boys, they call him Bush Ducker Junior. He's taught by his uncles how to hunt and survive in the bush and about the stories and all that sort of stuff. I mean, this year he went out and killed 4 goannas, and I mean that's on his own, and he's only 7 years of age, you know. So, but most of the another thing is most of the families are represented in the regions here today, and most of them would have been spent, you know, long years working farms and in the shearing sheep for throughout their lifetimes, and it's really challenging. It's really hard work, but it's really rewarding in the end, you know. You sit down with your mates after a day and you have a laugh. You know, you pass those on to your kids. You talk about your kids. You talk about your wives. You talk about anything you want to talk about, you know. But yeah, shearing is an industry that we really see is an opportunity, because at the moment it's a really struggling industry at the moment with not being able to find shearers. You know, your wool prices are at a record high, your meat prices at a record high, and nobody wants to shear. So if we can provide these young boys in their communities, train them up to go back to their communities, to go in the community and work, and, you know, pay taxes and be regular members of the community, because one of the problems is community, it doesn't accept Aboriginal people. That's the way we see it, you know. There's still a lot of racism, still a lot of things that, and a lot of the young kids can't react to mainstream teachers or white teachers, or, you know. That's why we see it as valuable for our Noongar teachers, our Noongar elders, to stand up and, you know, encourage these boys to say, you know, you don't have to be shamed. You don't have to look at the ground when somebody's talking to you. You know, you are as important as anybody else. And yeah, they just taking it on. You know, we've got young fellas in here, and some are around 12-year-old picking up a handpiece in there. You know, so they are seeing the need, and they're seeing the value of learning how to shear. My family over the time in the shearing shed, my dad was from Broome, but he came down and met my mum up there who was nursing. She's a Williams from down in the Great Southern here, and yeah, he took up shearing, sure, for 20 odd years, you know, 200 sheep a day. My brother became shearers, all my uncles were shearers, my grandfathers were shearers, and that goes for just about all of the families in the Great Southern, you know. And Noongar people had to go around, camp on farms, go out, clear paddocks, shear the sheep, do everything. When that work had finished, they would move on to another camp in the bush, you know, and they'd set up in the bush, and they would continue about the work. A lot of it was for, you know, no pay at all, that sort of stuff, and it really taught our people how to be resilient, you know. And so we're set up. I mean, with the young kids today and the electronics and stuff, they sort of lose contact with their elders, and they lose contact with their parents, because the parents aren't up to scratch on the technology, and we see this as a way of dragging them back in and teaching them the things that they need to know for, you know, self-respect, build confidence, all those sort of things, you know, and culture is a big part of that, you know, our Noongar culture. We've been around for 60,000 years, and we've been surviving that time, you know, so what we've got to teach our kids is more important than anything else in their lives, and that's what we want to do.
No, I just come for a ride, man. I just brought a couple of nephews down, just come for a ride to see how they go. Yeah, they're going all right. come this way, or you can, or otherwise, we can learn this way. But I'll go back this way, and the way I'll learn first. I got the sheep in position, so I know where to move. I can move anywhere I want it. So I don't want to go this way. So I'm going down this way, see? So all that comes with your hand. See? Don't be frightened to use your hand because your hand is very, very important. And come down there. You want to go down, come any way you want. So have a fancy go that way. So you walk this, so you won't freeze. And then you go down that way. There you go. Very important with your movement. I'm in position. I never move yet. When I get out of position, then I'll move. So everything with your hand and your feet. Now when I come, it's a bit hard. So I'll have to go and move back a little bit. But I'm doing all my movement here. I'm not doing this. So then I just forward movement, hand and my feet. When I go here, now it's out of position. So what I do, I'll move my foot back here. Then I got to flow, see? So then I got the flow. But all it is straight through with all the time. So see ya? You got the movement, see? Put your leg going. Now when I come here, it's a bit hard for me now. I can't get underneath. So I'm going to go back. So until I get the sheep up, see? If you get it hard, I'll go back a bit more. But I never move him so he can't sit through. And then I'm going to go again. And when I'm going to go up the neck, I'm not going to move. Because he's sitting here with me, he's not thinking, I'm going to do it now. So what I do, that's all right. Right again. So I'll go there. I'll go that way. Then you come, I've got his ears. I'm not going to change here. So I'll go this way, and now I'll come back, and then I'll go that way. That's all in the practice how many years you've got to do. Lots will go that way. But with me, I'll get my that way and I'll be gone, see? So now I'm here, I'm going to go up. So this one foot here is going to go there. That's my one position. The second position is underneath. So what you do, and now you're going to come, this leg must come in here. Now you put him there, no good to you. Because you're going to get in there and you can't get in there. Now, can you see this? Now, looking at this, there's nothing. But you look properly, over the years I've been shearing, here there's nothing. Nothing. And you look here, and look carefully what I'm talking about. See this line here? That's a different mark. That's a bit of a white mark, isn't it? All right, so what I'm going to do, a lot of shears, they just come straight up. Now what? Now this sheep is a wriggling sheep. It's a same mark, that's a wriggling that I'm going to follow. See? I want to follow that wriggling. It takes a lot of time to learn to find that white mark. This is what you've got to learn. I know where the mark is, but that's my first blow and I'm gone. Bang. I'm out of the way. If it's a wriggly sheep, you still do the same, but there's a few wriggles where you got to go in and out. Because he's a straight neck, he's straight up. Put back in again. Right? Lots of things in the movement here is my feet. This is where my feet come in handy. Now, if I'm here like this and I can't handle him, I'll move my foot out and push him underneath my knee, not on top of my knee. No good to me. I want him underneath. This hand is pushed in right underneath that knee. So then when I go down, I'm going to go down and still got him there. And then he's balanced. He's balanced himself. There's no movement. Oh, I'm a strong man. But I could be strong for one sheep, but I'm going to hold 140 sheep. So strength to me is no good to me. So I've got to get myself out of that. Oh, he'll do all the work for me. He's on me, see? So then I go around, he's coming around. Now I've got him laying flat on his back. That's where he's got to be. So when I'm going to make a blow, every blow I make, I'm making sure he counts. So you're going to go all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4. The main thing when he starts kicking, he's kicking this way. He's not going to kick me, but if I put my leg down here, have a look around, I've got my leg here. where you're going to kick me back. That's where you're going to go. A good shearer like him, maybe done you even learn something. Now this is the main thing. What you're going to want is your thought.
On the birds, you better doing one first and then
I'm going to go there. See? I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there this way. Nothing coming up to you all the time. I'm going to go down. Right in. Then, all getting my movement with my leg, see? I'm going to move with my leg. Nothing even lifting him. I'm going to move, 1, 2, another one, bang. And then he's right. Then I'll put my knee down on the other side of his leg. Main thing is watch your ear. You get down both ways. 1. To make sure that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and get the lump there. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him first, but then I'll get. Because I'm going down, I'll lift my handpiece up and keep going. See like this here? You're going to go straight in. With your handpiece down at the back like here, you got more time to lift. You go down. Notice this is a little bit off the skin. A little bit off the skin, that's how to leave your sheep like that. Not because you've got your teeth on the skin like that, you're not going to shear him any better. You can get him off the skin and just leave your teeth off so you can bang yourself like, you don't like you see bang, oh deeper, pull it back, then go again.
So sort of run the bolts along
But you got him like that, see, you got the flow straight through. Right, Jack? Now, before I'm almost over, I'll go and lift my leg up. Now, see that there? I'll go there, now I'm not going to lift this thing over, I'm going to use my leg. Bang, 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 see? Oh, that's one. So how you do that through? You never move it. You never see me move my leg, but I move my leg to get him over, see? So I'm moving his leg, move that leg out. So he's coming up on me all the time. That poor sheep is not going to slip away from you. You can have him at the back if you want to, but until you get down to here, then you can come around. But I like mine to stay here, so I'll get that position. Yeah, that there looks like the only not a picture. I'm going to keep him in the face. See that? What do you think? How you go right through it? You're not fighting the curry, man. Push it in. Bang. If I take my leg over, I'll leave my leg there. I like to go straight down to there. And one blow. I like to go make it 2 blows, then the 3rd one. So I'm already on the way over. Bang. Then I'm already on the way over. Next one, blow 2, then underneath. So the reason why I went underneath, so I want up to see you. But 4 and he's done. It's all in. When you finish, you just let him go like that. And he's going down the chute. A lot of things is working together, like working with a team. Working together is mainly in your body. You work with this, you work with this, but you don't work with your strengths. Because your strength's got to last all day. Next week, no. The more you get off doing the work with your strengths, you'll last all day. That's the main very important thing, is getting off on your strengths. You could do that. It's all in here. It's all in your legs, in your arms, and your movement. So the moment you get, you put that on top of there like that. But when you move it around, you'll get, see? Then you go around, and you move your sheep around. One, another one, then bang down, and you go. When you go in, make sure you get that 1, 2, 3. And when you get to 3, you can either turn your head that way or go that way. 1, 2, 3. 4 underneath, under, finish. 5, maybe a couple of little bugs, then he's gone. Then he's out, and you want to back in. It looks easy to do because I'm doing it. For you to do it, It's hard. It's hard work. Because you got to hold it, you got to think about what you're doing, and mainly is that as I said, he's a weapon. He's like a knife. At all times you turn him on, that's what the main thing you got to watch. Don't get too far out. Keep it close in here. We're close to this here so you're not working hard. And don't have your mind on the young fella there in front of you. He could be fast if you don't. You can't beat me, buddy. Something goes wrong, you start kicking, you cut him, you're about 6 behind. So you just work along as a learner, you work along until you get better. You pick it up, so gee, 3 years time, 3 years ago he beat me. He never waited for you to learn. You learnt and got with him if you go around him. That's all it takes. Don't worry about the bloke in front of you. You just worry about what you're doing on your sheet. Your sheet's a bit rough, I don't know, but if I went too far back, you're going to fall off it. So you just go back a little bit, and until you got finished, turn him off, bang, up the sheet. That's it. Let him go on.
Yeah. Oh. Is it? I think so.
So if any one of you boys want to have a go, don't be frightened to step forward. Nothing, but don't be frightened to cut a sheet, because we got needles there, we can sew them up.
Okay.
Right up. Get the boys to. Betsy. You. What do you want to do?
Take your time, pull. Try and line that up. You don't get over the back line. When you come down that line, there's one. There's.
Thank you.
Where they went bush tucking in there? They made sure they come back.
Voor de veetbellen. Bush running there? When you killed him. He did, brother, he didn't.
Rock, boy, rock. He just flung it out of a hole in his front.
Caught a fat one too, young. These boys here spotted. 2 boys here.
Look at this. Yeah, look at the claws though. Look at
You killed him. Bring him inside now.
Oh, the rock, boy. That's a bee.
Did you get him over there?
Where he slung was smashed and stolen. Who's got it rock? You know where it was?
That was fun. Let me see.
Down by both, wasn't it? I chucked the last. That's when you chucked that thing, right? Lucky it stayed there.
Well, it's still alive when you chucked it.
Well, I grabbed it out like it did. Earl was saying, we can grab it, because I was saying, go on, how can you do it? Because it started moving when he grabbed it. And then like I pushed it forward, then I pulled it back, pushed it forward, kept pulling it back. Next thing it just came out, man. And that's what I didn't mean, well, I didn't mean to, I just let go of it. And then I laid down there again, boy, it's in the same spot on it. And that's when, yeah, boy, I just hit it with a brick. Somebody hit it with a brick. Yeah, I hit it again. Oh, yeah, black thing. Straight on his head or what? That's my nigga. Hey,
Look at
the
this.
car thing.
Look at his arms. Oh. Hey, what? How'd that move?
That thing's still alive.
It was still alive, just get it over here again.
It is over there again.
My first time, family and
I got it.
converted him down there.
Right there, right there.
Good shot, man. Put it on the table there.
Because they killed him, took away his wind out.
He pulled him out and then when it fell down, the arrow did it.
Let's have a peek. That's a peek. That's Lindsay.
Chuck it on Taiwan. Right behind his tail through
Look at that though.
That is like a drumstick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Well, let's cook it straight out now.
Yeah, I took it out.
They're going to gut it. You got to stick it with its tongue out. Out of there now. Stay right. Take it here. Tongue out. Then go cook a cow. Oh, that thing came out, boy.
It changes you those kinds of things. So, hey? Changes people those kinds of things. So,
Oh yeah, it's cool, man. Yesterday, I lost a grandson.
I got a few mates, one mate lost his mum when he was young and lost his dad as well. That's one quarter, so
Yeah.
so it changed them, but it's still good people.
Oh yeah. Well, far as I can remember, the Noongars always had a connection with shearing, so working on the land, and they got a natural understanding about sheep. They work with them. They soon work out the sheep habits and that there. They're quick to catch on, and Noongar's always been out, and those who've been shearing take a lot of pride in their job. They weren't always caught up in big eye tallies and stuff. As long as they did a nice clean job and always was sort of kind to the animal, and so that way they respected their own jobs and respected themselves, because in the future they'd always be able to go back there because they left behind a good record, a good work record about they were a good clean shearer and did the job well, and mostly they all conduct themselves very well. And the shearing sort of died out a bit in the last few years with the Noongar people, but now comes opportunities that I think it's a good time for Noongar to get back in there. And like a lot of things happen these days, and young fellas, they attract a criminal record, a conviction that's held on them forever, and a lot of times makes it so difficult for them to get employment because of the legal requirements for certain kinds of jobs and stuff. And education, not all Noongars have gone along and made the most of their education that was around, or we all have different levels of learning and stuff, and some people just like to work on the land and work with livestock and stuff, even Noongar work with cattle and stuff. And you see that a lot of the Noongars that have been shearers together, they got a connection, and they remain friends for life. They go out and they sit around, not necessarily drinking, but sit around fires and that there, and tables, and talk about, here we went there, and this bloke here, this is the kind of sheep he had. Some have tougher sheep than others, and like that there. And Noongars always like to try and be competitive, and they want to be the best out there. And yes, I think it's a real good thing that we got young people coming here today, and give them a bit of hope. There's some that will come here and they'll say it's not for me because they won't get the follow-up that's required, the opportunities. And I think a lot of them need to get jobs in the shed so they could be looking, like anything else, looking and observing how the sheep are shorn and that there, and gives them an idea leading into having a go themselves. To see a young fella go out and take on shearing, the first thing they say, oh, he's a good shearer, man, and it brings back that unity. It does bring people together, and families are very proud of somebody out of their family that have done well in all areas. Say, oh, sporting too, and it brings people together. Back in the older days, people travel around and they camped on jobs, like lived in tents and stuff. I remember when I was a little kid just first starting school that I lived in tents too. And you lived on tents, in tents on farms where your parents can get to work, and that was down to land clearing and shearing too. So it's a big family history of that there, and everywhere you go and people got a connection, and you go around to farms today and the people can say, these blokes here, sure here, this time here, and you go into some of the old sheds, blokes have put their name up there, or they write their tallies up on the poles and that side, like in the sheds, tallies of what they've done years ago, and it's good. You go there and you look up and you connect with it. Say, I look up in the shed there and see some of the old people that's gone before, like my grandmother's families and that there that have been shearing, and their names in those sheds, and it's a good thing to look back on the history of that. And I think now that the Noongar people can come forward and have a big impact on the shearing industry. This here, to me, looking on, they're bringing this here to bringing our families back together. Like Bruce lives in Katanning, Lindsay and Daryl and the others live in Albany, and we got fellows here from Kendenup. All my family was from around Kendenup and town up in the Rijavec area, Albany, right through Mount Barker. Got family sort of everywhere we go through the Great Southern, and people I know and the people that know my family when we start talking about who I am and where I'm from. And today I've noticed that there's been nothing but encouragement in here, and that goes a long way towards all kinds of people, you know, whether it's Noongars or Wajalas. If you can get in there and you can put in a good word, well, you know, what does it do to somebody's life? If they want to be able to, this is with roo shooting was the way I run my family, is that we go out and people are taught all the dangers and taught the safe ways about things and respect. If my way of dealing, I take young people out in the bush, and if they don't listen to me or one of my co-elders, what I call elders of the group, they could only be 25. I'd call them an elder because they've been in the bush learning from me for 10 and 15 years and stuff, you know. So it's not necessarily have to be 50 years of age. A lot of people out there 50 that don't know anything, and we take them out there, and you got to earn your way. We send them, they walk through the bush. We show them the safeties about with the firearms and stuff. They got to be behind the scenes, and they got to be supervised at all times. And in the bush there, we learn them on direction. We send them, we just keep it simple. Like we send them through the bush. We say this is the way you're going to go, and this is the way you're going to come this way. And why you go, we teach them about hunting with the wind. Use the wind to your advantage, and seasonal type things, like we go out and when we go with ducks and stuff, I don't like eating or shooting ducks out, getting ducks outside of season. And like I'm a Christian man. I believe in doing things by the season, because that's the way you survive, because your seasons tell you about what's ahead for you next year, and for the future. You can't go killing out your future. And with all the boys that I've taken out, I've never had any that go off the rails, gone stupid in life, doing other things to other people. And they come through from this eye here, little fellas, and they come through and they're still respectful of you. And I've got kids that have come down me 15 years ago, and they're young men now, and I walk by, and even if I don't see them, they see me, they sing it out and wave and acknowledge, hello uncle, and all this here. And that's coming from a lot of people who not related to me, but they know me, you know. And young fellas that call me Pop and that, and the relationships there. And a lot of time we go out and we get more than what we could eat, so we go and look after somebody else, give it around, share it around, and whatever. And yeah, it's a great thing about building up trust. You know, young fellas, they can have people that they can trust, and you go out and get the respect, because you're getting their attention. Because if you don't get their attention, they're gonna they're going to miss out next time because you're not going to be bothered with them if they don't listen and respect you.
And they're always learning out there as well.
Yeah, that's true. So
That's the best thing. I
yeah.
reckon.
That's a part of, you can say quite fairly that's a part of a broader part of this project. We might be just looking at kids being trained in shearing, but they're learning a whole group of life skills, aren't they? And they're
Yes.
learning about their country, by the way.
They are. They come in here and after the shearing's done, the old fellas, they'll know these old fellas and they'll know these people was here for, even other blokes are here who just mates. Oh, we were there at that same time. They're going to be mates forever. They're going to know one another forever. For the rest of the days, they're going to be there, and there's going to be a roll-on thing. They're going to, this person's good. They might have heard a bad report from somebody else, but they say, no, he's good. I found out we were there, done this here over a few days, and changes a whole lot of things. Changes people's views on different ones, and we can get good reports and bring our people together. That's what's missing in our Noongar society today, because there's no unity. When we all come together, we can be a powerful people for our own good.
Just give them something else than sitting around home doing nothing, or whatever they choose to do in life. So try and get them to come out here shearing. I've been shearing here with Tim for a long time, and I've had a lot of turnover of boys and that who just want to come along, and I'm happy to get them to come out and learn to shear so they could be the next lot to come here on a learner stand, Yeah, we'll be pretty alright. It's only just sort of a one-off thing for us, but there's been a magnificent turnout here today. I was only expecting probably 10 at the most, but you could see yourself how many was keen to do it. And for what I've heard, there is a shortage in the shearing industry too. So, like a lot of people, I'll just say Kiwis are not coming over here as much. They're going back home now. So there's a lot of Australians there need a chance of to go shearing. Well, a lot of old shearers there that have done years and years of work. Like old Bruce and them, Daryl, Lindsay. Chris is probably a nice up and coming young shearer, but he's sort of moved on to health work, which took him out. So need to replace blokes like that. My own history is when I was a kid. I grew up in this area, this town here, Kendenup, and I've always thought that Noongars were the only one that shore. So because my dad shore, my uncles, my cousins all shore in this town here, around this town, like back in the 60s and 70s or something. And then so I've just continued on myself, doing the same thing. And my brothers have done the same thing. I taught my son to shear, trying to get my grandson to do the same thing. So like with Tim's given us a crutching day, a family crutching day, that we could come out and do X amount of numbers, and we want all our young blokes to be able to participate in that. So this is why this is good for teaching them that there, and the crutching side of stuff as well. A lot of yarns you hear about shearers that have gone on and shorn all their life and wasted their money. Well, I was the opposite. I've sort of shore, I won't say all my life, but I've shore like a fair percentage of it, and I made sure that I owned things at the end of it. So that's what is my aim of doing stuff. Well, I wasn't going to waste my money like after shearing for a long time. So I just made sure that I was able to buy a house, buy motorbike, caravans, buy my own stuff basically. A lot of the blokes I've worked with, they're my friends for life, and I could go get a job with them anytime I want, basically, I reckon, I've sort of done well by them, and if there's anything I need, they probably would say yeah.
Yeah, there's you know, really strong bond in the shearing teams. People who work together, you know, they stick together and they respect and each other, and really noticed that with Geoff and Lindsay. Geoff and his brother Foster, they've been shearing my sheep for, I don't know, must be a lot of years. Goes back probably almost 50 years.
And all the cousins too.
And all the cousins and brothers. Big family, the Farmers and the Williams that we've got here, they're big families. And I'm a bit embarrassed because a lot of the times I can't remember their names, but Geoff always fills me in. Johnny used to always fill me in, introduce me, and they just accept you basically as family. Yeah, because we've been together for so long. So you basically get accepted as family, and with all everything that goes with that. And when someone dies or something, you know, you feel sad and you mourn with them. And same as when new babies are always being born and coming on, new generations, they keep coming through. But it's great to see Geoff and Lindsay and Daryl and the other boys that are there encouraging these young fellas to get into shearing, because there's a tremendous opportunity there, and the work ethic, and it's a very competitive industry. It's what these young guys need. Shearing is a great thing. It's not just a work; it's like a sport, and you can make a lot out of it. And there's a tremendous opportunity nowadays. Sheep and wool are doing well, and we need more shearers. Like Geoff said, a lot of Kiwis are going home for whatever reason. They were the mainstay of the industry for quite a while, but the opportunity is there, and the prospects are there for these young fellas, and we're just trying to encourage them. Geoff's always been encouraging young blokes. We've always had a learners stand here in the shed, and to have a shearing school like this is a prototype for something, you know, probably a bit more organised, but it's a great start today. We're just wrapped with this, you know, occasion, and hopefully it's indicative of something bigger to come. Geoff's always, his family, you know, they've always been neat, clean shearers, no stress to the shearer or the animal. It's good to see someone that shears like that. You know, when you see a good shearer in operation, it looks easy. The better the shearer is, the easier it looks. And those young guys that want to fight with the sheep, you know, that's counterproductive. That works against them. But with Geoff and most of the boys, you see, you know, they've got to be at one with the sheep, and it looks easy, and that's what the farmer likes to see too, is sheep shorn trouble-free, stress-free as much as possible for the sheep and the shearer. It's really good to see, and you know, I'm happy to say that these boys pretty much down that line. Yeah.
It is good to watch a good shearer, you know, playing his craft. I mean, it's awesome. You know, you go there and I've always looking at the way they shear. And there's a couple of blokes in there now, you know, that have got magnificent styles that you can just see their blows after they've finished, you know, sort of, and look at the way they've shorn and, you know, the way they've been taught. And I mean, a lot of people love the way they, you know, like finish their job, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think shearing's both an art and a craft, you know, and it's also a sport, you know. It's very competitive, and it can be very competitive. A lot of shearers get very competitive with shearing, and it's good to see, because that's how you get your numbers. That's how you earn more money, and you need to be competitive. You always have the best shearer at the top of the board, and the other boys trying to keep up with him. Well, to see them doing shearing, good shearing and fast shearing, there's nothing better, you know, and it's addictive. And those in the industry, There's a few in here that have been, you know, involved with competitive shearing. It's like sport. It's a great way of life, and you've got an incredible camaraderie between shearers and shed hands and people who work in the sheep industry, and it's good to see plenty of Noongars involved. We want more. That's a real Noongar style, having all the generations together, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the shed, having the grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the children and the grandchildren, and sometimes the great-grandchildren.
Yeah, they all
you
turn
know.
up, yeah.
And when they go into the shed when they're young like that, they get a taste for it, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, you can't bring someone in as a teenager, never been in a shed before, they're going to be turned off.
Yeah.
But when you get the young kids in there, same with killing a sheep or hunting, you know, if they experience it when they're young, it's just second nature to them, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But when they're city kids that come down, they haven't seen a sheep killed before, it's just traumatic.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they run away.
But no, these kids, they love the shed, they love shearing because they've been there since they were babies virtually.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or their dads as well, you know?
Yep, generations. Yep. Well, when you talk about the farmers or the Williams, they're big families, you know, and a lot of people were in both families.
Yeah.
Farmers and Williams, you know,
Yeah.
they're intertwined, and you know, two of the main families from this great southern region is Williams and farmers, and you know, they're in, as I experience more and more, like on the crutching day, you just realise how many people involved and how strong the bond is. And when you go to a few funerals, you begin to appreciate how strong the bond is between these people. It's something special that European cultures don't really appreciate so much to such an extent. Yeah. And it's amazing, you know, how forgiving these people are, because, you know, people can go off the rails, they get caught up with the law and jail, but they always accept them back, you know, and it's quite amazing to see, you know, and that's the best way to rehabilitate someone is through their family, you know, and to get them back on the rails when they've been off the rails is through the family. And if we can, through this situation and through this industry, if we can encourage that sort of thing, we're hoping that there's, you know, a lot of people willing to pitch in and assist or help us in that regard. Is that the right idea?
Yeah, that'd be right, mate, yeah. It'd be good to get this here going so that the kids could, you know, got somewhere else to go to. And they could learn a trade, basically. Go out and make money. Money's pretty good in shearing and crutching, so... Oh, I suppose there is other opportunities and up with the mines and everything, and that sort of stuff, but I mean, a lot of the country kids want to stay in the country, so, you know, like shearing industry is probably the only thing that's going to give them good money, and you know, you don't have to be, well educated to do that work, you know.
But Noongars are naturals, like with football. You know, they're naturals at shearing, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
They just, you know, it's second nature. Like they pick it up so quickly just by watching.
Yeah.
They pick it up. You don't really have to teach them.
No.
You know, you just have to get them involved, and they teach themselves.
Yeah.
And they are naturals, you know, at handling sheep and shearing, like with football, like his son. You know, they're just naturals. If you've seen them in action, you'll understand what I mean. It goes back to the early part of, not last century, the century before, when they started sheep farming here in Kendenup. The Hassels out of Kendenup Homestead had a big run, and they ran a lot of sheep out of Kendenup. And every shearing, which was basically in the springtime, all the shepherds would bring the sheep back to Kendenup, and they'd get in all the Noongars. Back in those days it was blade shearing, but all of Jeffrey's ancestors would have been there blade shearing, shearing the sheep, probably for about a month in September, October, around that time of the year. So it goes back a long way, sheep shearing and Noongars around this district. So, you know, it's sort of in their blood to some degree. So we're probably looking at, you know, 150 years of passing it down the line from generation to generation.
Probably the guns, like, they'll speak for themselves sort of stuff, you know, everyone would know about them. But as for Noongars, it probably wasn't, you know, like, it was a job, you know, there wasn't worried about big numbers or anything like that back in the day. And just a job of getting around from farm to farm sort of
there's
stuff.
a few
You know?
Noongar shearers that have done extremely well. Kenny Dane, Lindsay's father, was a very well respected shearer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And your cousin Kimberley?
Yeah, all the old uncles and that on the Williams side.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that were very, very good. And, you know, had a long career. Well, Bruce here, Tully.
Yeah.
He's one of them. He's my age.
Yeah.
And he's still shearing.
He's still going, yeah.
69, yeah. Yeah, so, there's some very well respected. But as far as winning competitions, do you know of any Noongars that won shearing competitions?
I think Mitch might have won something.
Yeah. They're certainly capable of it. Yeah. We'd like to see some more getting up there.
Salad stuff. A little bit of fruit.
Go home and have a look at the YouTube highlights of the Wizard.
The Wizard, yeah. Oh, Bill.
Mate. He was playing for Melbourne. That year, last year at Melbourne was his best year, wasn't it? Playing for Melbourne. How many goals did he get that year? 80 or something. 78 or what? Yeah, he got the mark of the year.
That was in 1997.
I'll check that out because I was a bit young then, I think.
Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah.
Have a look tonight. Yeah. Check it out.
Do you play football, mate?
Used to.
Yeah. Still?
Yeah, no, long time ago. Yeah, Tamworth.
They have Noongar competitions.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even now. Yeah. When you have one at Noongar.
They have, Noongar was, in October. Stuff that.
They play with a flat football, you know.
Yeah.
Football's half pumped up.
Yeah.
You can only kick it about the end of that bus.
Yeah.
Oh, and this, at the end of the game, the score's like 1 goal 12 to 9 points or something, you know.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Fun to watch. TV Island's the best, I reckon.
A lot of cans and sodas and that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Darwin competition, and then they go get drafted if they. Well, what's the name? Rioli's come from TV Island.
Where's the Ferry Island?
Off Darwin, Bathurst and Melbourne. Two quite big islands.
Yeah,
They're not far off the coast. Yeah, 2 big islands here. Oh, they've been missions, but you know. Well, he got it off the ground. He'd been talking about it for about 20 years.
Oh, that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, the kids are fantastic. They are so happy to be here and they're keen to learn. It just sets them up for all the challenges that life brings. Teaches them discipline, teamwork, hard work, the benefits of hard, honest toil, you know. There's sweating and it's great physical work for them as well because they're young, fit, strong people. It's good to see their physical skills put to use. Yes, they can learn so much from this. They can travel around. This is one thing good about the job. It can take them to different countries around the world. They can use their skills that they learn here in every industry. You know, all industries need hard workers, people who are disciplined and are good team workers. So, there's so much more for them than, and because we're in the country, there's not a lot out there. So sport is probably one of their main outlets, and because shearing is a sport as well, you know, and it can take you to around the world, like I was saying, lots of competitions. You can, most countries have sheep, so I was telling the kids today that there's awesome potential to travel the world and be paid, and paid well too. So, yeah, it's something that they can, yeah, they can get a lot out of, travel the world as well, learn about different cultures, and yeah, there's lots of potential for them. Oh, I've grown up in this industry. I come from generations of country people, shearing people. It's taken me around the world. I used to be a shearer myself and been in this industry, yeah, most of my life. So, yeah, I've had lots of rewards. I've done a lot of show shearing as well, so it helps, competing in shows, it helps you to better your skills, and it also shows other people who don't get to see shearing what it's all about. You know, a lot of town people don't get to ever see a sheep shorn, so when they come along and see all the... we're athletes, really. It's a sport. I represented our country, New Zealand, and here in Australia and over the UK, so yeah, it's huge potential. And I've had lots of rewards from this industry. Yeah. A lot of us are real related as well, so it's nice to get the family together. And of course you do build up relationships because you're working hard. And you have to help each other, you can't stand back. So it does really build, you know, our family relationships and teamwork. So yeah, it's good, everyone's happy to be here, and it's really good to see.
And now with shearing takes people around Australia and then also around the world. Like Jack was saying, you know, you can go anywhere now, shear yourself around the world, you know, make money as you go. Where before it was like nobody left their hometown, you just stayed home, but things have changed big time now. And it'd be great for all the kids to start shearing and get that work ethic going.
The people you mix with, they're all like-minded, you know, they're all honest, hard-working people, because time wasters wouldn't last. So you're working with people who are, you know, they got good work ethics, like you say, brother. So, well, there's huge money to be made. You don't have to be a fast shearer, or shear hands get top dollar. You know, this is one of the highest paid industries that you don't have to have a qualification. You don't have to have any experience and you'll get a job. As long as you're willing to work hard and listen, you go a long way.
If you learn the right way too, you know, it makes it a lot easier for you yourself. And if you get a good name, you're always going to get a job somewhere, you know. So it'd be brilliant for the kids and to learn properly.
This industry, they'll pick you up at your door and drop you off, so you don't even need a car. They even provide accommodation and meals, and so it's all there. You don't need much to get into this industry. Just a willing heart and a good attitude, and yeah, you'll get a pocket full of money, so you do all right. And you'll be fit, so I reckon it's like getting paid to work out. Don't have to pay a gym membership. You come to work and you get paid to work out, so it's a bonus.
Yeah, yes. It's probably seeing young kids, you know, who want to have a go, getting the opportunity to have it go at it. I mean, they're very keen because they've seen the numbers that have turned up here. You know, like I said earlier, we was only expecting, you know, anywhere between 5 and 10. There's heaps of them here that want to have a go and try and get into that industry, you know.
I was brought up in a family of shearers. My old man, sure, from Esperance, Albany, Hongurup, Noongar, Kendenup, all around the Great Southern to Albany. And I don't think he saw any further than Querding. That's come back in the old days for an old man, but I sort of travelled around with him and sort of did a bit of rousing as I grew up. And sort of started learning to shear with taking the belly off now and again and doing the last side. And then just doing that, of trying to learn to shear. No one ever taught me, but I just got in there and done a little bit and kept going at that. And when there was a time to learn to shear, you had to get in and sort of do that yourself. You either done that or, because your family was wherever they'd go, you were with them. And if he had a shed here one week or months or whatever, and then he'd go to another shed, and then you sort of done the same thing over and over. And you sort of got used to it and then started to get a little understanding of how to shear a sheep. And you sort of went from there. And I myself, I shore a few sheds around the Great Southern. I shore for one bloke was Leo Page, who took me in when I was just learning. And he comes from Kendenup, sorry. And he was a good old bloke, he'd look after you. And Noongars, when he goes back to shearing, I used to go way back and camp on the job. Like nowadays, Noongar whalers, they travel from sheds to town. Noongars used to camp on that farm next to the shed, or not far from it, so they could get where the water was close and, sort of get up in the morning and you're right there at the shed. And there's a place in Noongar up there, Murray's, you'd see it with a reserve there. That's how many Noongars used to be there, Brilliant. Yeah, that's true, boy. The Noongars when they used to go to Murray's, you'd go have a look up the creek there. There was all tents all over the place. There was only four blokes sort of shore there, and about three or four rouseabouts, but you just about had all the town, which was really good in company for the Noongar too. All sort of moved in relation with one another. Shearing a good sort of job. We were shearing when we were getting $20 a hundred. Now you're getting $3 a sheep, which is $300 a hundred. So it's come a long way since my days. And when we used to do 100, we used to knock off. It was hard work and big sheep. I guess when we're shearing with the old Aussie gear, what they call is a small comb. Now and then they bought the old Kiwi, when they come over here, they bought the bigger gear of the comb version of a Kiwi handpiece. Sort of, you'd get more wool off. But when the Noongars were shearing, well, yeah, that thing looked like what it looked like within. I don't know, it wasn't getting much wool off anyway. And we used to pull our comb to make it wider. Like you won't get that much, but it seemed like you was getting a bit more off. I can't say I got too much out of it, but I enjoyed it, because when you got out of the shearing job, you had nothing to fall back on. And so, if you were doing something like a shearing job, but fell back on another job, if you had two sort of jobs together, you'd probably get something out of the second job, because you'd get, well, shearing wasn't it was just a seasonal thing, you know what I mean? You sort of, if you got 6 months out of the year on shearing, well, then you'd lay down for 6 months, you know what I mean? And but it's sort of, when it's gone, it's gone. But if you definitely had something to fall back on, well, so it pays to have a look at another job. That's what I say. But yeah, enjoyable while it was going. You sort of miss the smell of dags when you in that sort of work all the time.
Ross, did it support your family through the year?
Yeah, well, that $20 a hundred or whatever it was you could buy a lot of things with that. And it sort of, we survived on it. My wife and a couple of kids, we survived. So things, like now it's different. The price of things have gone up. But it's worth looking at if kids interest. Yeah, shearing is the thing. If you work with a team of good, like you don't want to bloke too many people. What can I say? Not agreeing with things, like if you're disagreeing every day or whatever, and you're not laughing or whatever, it doesn't work. You got to enjoy, really enjoy it to get on with it, sharing and as a family. You got to be as a family, yeah. So I'd say, if you get hold of sharing, go for it. But it's a hard jacker. You got to be, I think you gotta, you really gotta enjoy sharing. It's not good being in it if you don't enjoy it. And company, what you have when you're in sharing teams, that's very vital that you have good company, because it keeps you occupied with what you're doing and doesn't leave your concentration to something else. So good teams. You get, as long as you get satisfaction out of it.
Are they competitive or what? They used to race each other?
Oh, no doubt. I've seen my uncle and my old man have a few little rounds, but no fist flying or anything, but there was a few things like it. Because one year, I think, his youngest brother went away and come back a couple of years after, and he went around the old man, and the old man didn't like it, so it's one of those. It can be competitive. Yeah. You got good cheap and bad cheap, but it's a thing of what my brother-in-law used to say to me. Every time he walked in and pen, he said, "That's another $1. Every time you walk in there, $1. Don't look at the sheep," he said. "There's another $1." Yeah. So he was very encouraging. Roger.
What do you reckon our kids could get out of it?
Well, I'll tell you what, if they do the right thing, it's people who have a lot of respect for you. Sort of. And if you got a lot of respect around, it's easy to get on with people. It's very important. Because a lot of white boys, they hardly get any respect for Noongars anyway. Unless you're working and a hard worker, you can mix up with people, go into pubs and drink and whatever. Carry on. But you can get respect through that shearing. Because a lot of people respect you for being a shearer. They know what it is, a hard yacker. Yeah, but you're a good shearer, people talk about you. And they have respect for you. It's like, But, shearing. There's some young blokes around. It's good, like these blokes are doing today. It's very important for Noongars that they get in and learn a bit. If they get 2 or 3 out of here, they're doing good. They're doing well. Because I know when we used to have a couple of them, they had in Marybank, that's in Kendenup, they had a few years ago, they had a few learners and learned them to shear and give man pieces and whatever to carry on. And I think they found the nearest dam with the hand piece. Because I didn't, that's what I say about it. They get 2 or 3 out of this mob, they be doing well. Because Noongars lose interest in anything. They don't stay at one thing too long. It's, you got to keep them interested, they get their mind wanders to something else very quickly. And if there's some mates around, you know, that encourage whatever, they won't take the high road, they'd rather take the low road.
No opportunity?
No, it's sad for all Noongar culture anyway. And
We're going to have Chrissy in a minute. Come here, Chrissy.
yeah.
I'll go in there in a minute.
If we had ways, like Noongar say everything about, well, we'd be right, because we've got, what do you call it, Lindsay?
No?
What is Noongars coming to help Noongar young people? They got all this land deal, huh?
Oh, it's well for land down there. Settlement.
So, you reckon if that'll be all right? Don't know. Being old myself, I mix with a lot of young people, but I haven't seen any changes over the years that I've mixed with them.
But shearing is one thing that the old fellas can teach the young fellas, you know?
Oh, yeah, but if they
Work ethic.
yeah. I think if they get enough shearing around, if they're not going to get to work, what can you do to entice them to shear, you know? If you haven't got the sheep or whatever, you probably got the boys, but you haven't got the work. And I mean, it's like, trying to climb.
It was different back then too, you know? You had all that stuff. Today they haven't got that, you know? Sit down there, Chrissy, and you can do your interview now. I've just done my bit.
You're in Chris.
Oh, come on, when you go back over.
Give Chris.
Man.
Chrissy, man.
Oh, I just don't think. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, thanks, bud.
A lot of the young fellas there is eager to learn. Is eager to have a go. You know, shearing's not easy. And I think they know that, but they're here today, so it's really good that they can participate in today, and maybe they'll learn something out of it. Hopefully, where they can, you know what I mean. There's not much work around. There's only the shearing sheds around that where they can get work, you know. Especially you don't have much qualification. You're only just going to learn how to shear and do a bit of rousing to learn in the shed. So it's really good, to have them out here. Like opportunities when I was young, it was a bit different now. It's like there was, you know what I mean. There's like in the small country towns, especially in small country towns, it's, you know, we had a lot of work back then. We had, you know, a lot of opportunities, a lot of small farmers. Now it's, I think today just on the, just going back when I was a bit young, you know, there's always work around, and there's always, you know, and there was always good role models as well in the community as far as working, like our old uncles and, you know, not only uncles, our aunties and so that kind of you know, old uncles and that, they kind of inspired us to go and do a bit of work as well. And similar to this stuff here, you just take them out the shearing shed, and before you know it, you learn how to shear. Then you're doing another shed, and you're getting better and you're better, I guess. And yeah, well, it's something. It's something to, you know what I mean. It's good skill, and it's something to actually to learn, to actually learn. And I guess when you're looking at most of the young fellas here too, that I don't know whether I'm going off track or not, but you know what I mean. It's they're talking about getting on the mines, you know, and all this stuff. And sometimes it's a good idea. It's you got to like their, you know, their ambitions and stuff. But you know, people, they go up to the mines and they only stay there for about a week, and they come home, and you know what I mean. After the mines, they just got nothing else. You know, at least they'll have some, you know, shearing and being a part of this. I think they're going to benefit from it. In some way or another, because either they're not going to like it and really go and get another job somewhere else, or whether they're going to like it and stick at it. And that maybe, you know, it'll become
this sort of ripple effect, whatever, snowball effect, and maybe, get other young blokes to inspire them to work too. And yeah, like I was saying before, it's not like when we was growing up, it was a bit different. You had opportunities, everything was different back then, But today it's I think it's I definitely think there's barriers. There's a lot of barriers and stuff, and with our young people, I think it's a lot of peer pressure. It's all that stuff, peer pressure. I guess it's that there's a lot of them that you know what I mean. That I think it's drugs. I think it's drink. All that stuff. That can, you know what I mean. It stops them from doing some of this stuff. It stops them from doing a lot of things. I think it's a main important part that it's working together, I guess. And once you start working, I think it's the word camaraderie. It's that camaraderie and it's socialising, and I think and mixing in. I think that's very important, and I guess that's what the shed does. I've worked in a few sheds over the years, and you become part of it. You start to know people. Their conversation. It widens. It makes the world bigger, I guess. When you start to know people and understand people, and you get opportunities. Far as work as well, I know this guy, especially in the shearing game. I know this guy, he can do this. We'll give him a call. We'll get him around to actually do a couple of days with us and give us a hand with the shearing to help shear the sheep. And so we'll go. I think that's what that does. It just gives them an opportunity to actually be a part of a day or. In the future, and today this is where it starts, I guess, in the shearing shed. And a lot of them don't play any sport, so that was taken away, and so it's great to see that coming in and doing this kind of stuff and mixing in and because they're from different towns, hardly none of them knows each other, but yeah. And I think by the end of the day, they'll start to know each other, where each other lives, and they share some stories with each other. So, yeah, I think that's good. It's I think that's good about today. And like I said, in a lot of them, it's going to go away, and where they learn something, even just standing there and. I think the main part is just being here. Just being here is important, and that's good enough. Even if someone don't even pick up the handpiece, or you just sit back and watch and be a part of the day. I think it's I think it'll benefit each and every one of you today. Good shearers. Well, I think like in everything, you just got to keep going at it. You just got to keep going at it all the time, and the more you do it, the better you get. That kind of stuff, And I think the qualities. I think that's one of the qualities. The more you do it, the better you get, and I think there is a couple in there that actually have been doing a bit of sheep work actually. I think there's about 3 or 4 of them in there, and to come here, they really enjoy their day. They get an opportunity to get in and learn a bit more. And I guess it's all about, as far as quality and they'll definitely improve and definitely get something out of today. And I think that's one of them, is just to be able to think and I think a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking. I guess that's what's in it. It's in anything. Once you start talking and people get on, things run just much better, so smoothly. And I think that's an important part of the Aboriginal culture as well. Is that socialising, getting on, laughing, and getting together, and working, and know that you know hard days of work. At the end of the day, you know, it feels really good. Uncle Bruce Williams, yeah. Oh, he's been in the game for years and years. Uncle Bruce, yeah. He actually loves the game. He actually, Uncle Bruce, as long as I can remember, he's been around the shearing shed for, you know, he's part of the furniture, I guess, in the shearing shed, and over the years, he met a lot of people, and he learnt a lot of things, and it's good to see him here to pass that, to have that opportunity to pass it down. I think he's very happy. I think he is. Yeah, he is. He's over the moon. Him and a few others, you know, it took a while for them to learn that stuff. They just, you know, I think he'd been in there for nearly 50 something years. I don't know, he's been in there for a long time, and I think he picked up, you know, he learnt it, and he picked the art of which, you know, working without working, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just mainly in his legs and thing, you know. He just learnt that. I think that's one of the things you got to have in the shearing shed. If you can make it much easier for yourself, you know, and like some of the guys now, you know what I mean. They shear in there, but they don't know how to hold a sheep. If they later on, when they learn how to hold a sheep, then it becomes so much easier for them. And that's one of the things that might encourage them to go on further when they learn it and they think, oh, I can do this, that kind of thing. But yeah, no, Uncle Bruce, he's really good. He can, yeah, that's one of the things he likes doing. He likes teaching, and he likes telling the young fellas how to shear and how to do other things. Really good. He's got a lot of knowledge and wisdom in the shearing shed.
Our family of Woods, Roberts and Williamses, and a lot of the older men, they used to work in the shearing sheds, walk from farm to farm wherever they can get work. But slowly shearing is dying out for our Noongar people, especially our Noongar males. And today's a special event or special day where we've got about a dozen young teenagers here who want to come down and learn how to shear or do crutching with the sheep. And I think it's really, I feel really proud to be and see them shear, but mainly because we've got our elders over there, the males, the old shearers. They're there in the sheds teaching them how to shear sheep. And I just like to, you know, thank Tim Saggers here for giving them that opportunity. Couple of boys that come, they haven't even been in the shearing shed, so it's a valuable experience for them. But like I say, my family members, the males, they used to go out on shearing. They used to shearers shear for the farmers way out in the districts of Rijavec and Borden, and wherever one family group might have had a shearing job or work, you know, to work the farms, the other family members would also join them. So they'll all go and camp on the farms and all work together. It was great times, you know, growing up and seeing that action. It's family gathering, families working together and sharing. And when they used to finish their jobs, they used to all go back into the towns, back to the native reserves, and back to their people. So they'll share their, you know, the rewards or what they reaped, the monies that they made. They'd often share with other family members. So today I'm sitting here with Brother Darryl. He's a shearer too. Now you can have your say.
Yeah, I've been in the industry for a few years. My name's Darryl Pickett. I'm from the Borden Rijavec area too. I'm really born in Albany, so yeah. Your father was a shearer, my oldest brother Ross, he was a shearer. And yeah, they travelled all over the place. Fathered Shaw for many years, him and his brothers, and I think he was started when he was 13. I think when his father he got crook one day, and then he had to take over when he was 13. So you know, I mean, and that's to feed his brothers and sisters and that years ago. So I think he got in the trade. And he had no choice to get in the trade that day. So he never looked back. You know, so and growing up in the sheds, I suppose, and wanted to be like your fathers and uncles. You know, wanted to do the same things they did. You know, so we done it for a few years. Come here. We come to this farm here. We used to shear up, and it's like an old machinery shed that we used to do about 500, maybe 600 sheep. Had to keep us going for a few days. But you know, we was only just learning at the time, so.
What age were you when you learnt? Started shearing?
We'd be late 20s, I think, or mid 20s. It'd be in the mid 20s, I think, when I started learning to shear. So, but it's a good business. So keeps you fit, you know. So yeah, didn't shear much in the shed here where we are now. So but we used to do a lot. We used to bring the little children out, and you know, our kids. They used to come out here with us. Me and one of them, well, my cousin-in-laws, we're just not here anymore, so, you know, so, used to be one of our main sheds that we used to do for Tim. Yeah, mainly around Tamworth, you know, so, well, my father, he shore all over the countryside.
Named the farmers, you sure?
Yeah, we're thinking, would be Johnson's, Waterson's, Alf Lennon's. Yeah, so Ross would know a lot more, Tanya. So.
But just with shearing, what over 25 years ago?
Yeah.
Rod died.
Yeah.
Yeah. When your brother-in-law died, Roger Farmer, he was a he was a deadly shearer.
Gun, yeah.
Yeah, and when he passed away, family members had approached one of the farmers, Bird Hams, and asked if they could, you know, do shearing, any sheep and that, or crutching or whatever, just so the family can go out and do a family day of work. The money that they made goes towards a tombstone for Rod, you know, because he was the one who looked after them as young children, you know, and they wanted to do something special for him. And it's been ongoing for 25 years. The farmer family goes out and they make a day of it, shearing in the sheds, the whole family. So there's about 100 of them that go out for the day, right from the youngest baby right to the elder.
Yep.
Back then it used to be old Mother Farmer or Majine Farmer. It's mother-in-law, and whatever that the monies that were made on that day, the cheque was just handed straight to her, so it was her money, and she spent it how she wished to. But it was just, you know, valuable, precious time for families to get together, work together as one. We let children have the experience of working on a farm, working in the shed. You know, just coming to think about how it is for a farmer living on a farm, shearing sheep. They have the opportunity of see how the old people had worked in the shed, shearing sheep and rousing, penning. So it was we're still out here. We were here about 2 months ago.
Yes, 2 months ago.
The whole family, and it's a precious time. A lot of people don't get the opportunity or the chance to do that, especially our Noongar people, because they're far and wide. But we'll always come together once a year in October to get together. It's a yearly annual event, and I think it's really nice, precious time for each and every one of us family members. Yeah, I don't know whether husband Geoff's already mentioned that, but that's how the family day, or family oriented day began many years ago. women usually, they'll come out and they'll do all the cooking, food preparations, and the males would all be in the sheds, all out and about, chasing sheep in. So I've got my grandson in there today, KB Farmer, who's come down, and I've actually had the opportunity to come down and see him in action. So I feel very proud, yeah. This morning, looking at them when I was here, they seemed very nervous, frightened to even cut the sheep, and when they did slice it, raise the sheep, they didn't want to shear, but they still continued on. They had the older male shearers there, and even Jackie in there, the female. They're there guiding them and explaining things in detail, how to shear the sheep. Don't worry about that. You know, I think the way they explain it to the young boys, I think they'll do okay. I think they're all going to do 5 sheep each. Yeah. I think allowing them to get, have an opportunity to share, where in there if they make a mistake, they're you know, they're guided. They're guided in there by the older ones, experienced people. If you make a mistake, keep going and try again and try and do better. Yeah. But it's building their confidence, I believe. It's all about confidence building, team building, but also being together as one old group, being united, and also having respect. You know, respect for the older people and respect for the people around you. And I think a lot of them, they showed a lot of respect too today to Tim Saggers. Yeah. These young fellas, young boys, they always teasing one another during the break, the lunch break. Well, you did this wrong, or you did that wrong, and all having a laugh and a joke about it. But as Noongar people, a lot of people don't take it to heart, because that's what kind of people we are. We all laugh about anything and everything. Yeah. That's our part of life. You got to learn discipline about
discipline.
You know,
Go.
Yeah. Come on, Daryl, you're saying now you're the shearer.
Yeah, no. And not to give up, yeah? Don't give up. Always keep on trying. If you make mistakes, just keep going. You know? No one's going to jar you or anything else. Just have a go at it.
Mistakes are made.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
But you overcome it, keep trying,
you
get better. It's a hard work, hard life for the actual shearer. And we're lucky that we still got some Noongar people shearing, you know, that we know of. Got a nephew, Vinnie Pickett, Daryl's nephew. He still shears, and he shears barefoot. You should see him in action.
Your son-in-law?
Yeah, he's unable to come today because his son's having a party. Otherwise he'd be here. But yeah, it's a joy to be around. It's a happy time. And it's like when we get together now, yearly our memories go back to our family, you know, growing up with our families when we all lived on the farms and everybody went together and worked the farm, whether it be, you know, shearing in the sheds or doing the paddocks. But it's like reviving, going back to your country, to your young days, the days of when our families were out and about and working, and we were all together as one group. Because when they have been coming out throughout the years, they always tell the younger ones about who were the shearers. They'd named them, like the family people, you know. Oh, he used to shear, and he shore so many sheep a day, and you know, it's in a proud way, but explaining that you too can be there one day. So out of the young ones, the last young one to be a shearer was Roger, rest in peace. His grandson, Jacob Drage. Well, he came out to the sheds here and he learned how to be a rousey and shearing, and now he's shearing. can't come and join us because he's out in, I think he's Midwest. Yeah. But everyone's so proud of him that he's a shearer.
Oh, definitely now.
Yeah, good money.
Definitely now.
Good money today.
Yeah. Years ago, I think it would have been hard for the old fellas.
Yeah.
Hey. Mate?
I'm still trying to encourage our young people to go to the sheds.
Yeah, definitely. 200 plus a day. And all depends, and some, he might shear 300, don't it?
Yeah.
Dad. Your dad might shear 300, don't it? Yeah, he'll shear 300. 300 in lambs plus. And that's going. Not a lot of people do that. Not 300. But yeah, hopefully he'll come become a shearer himself.
Yeah.
Are you going to learn to play footy? Hey?
Don't know yet.
Basketball. Cricket.
He likes basketball.
He likes anything that like. He loves sport. See all your cousins there, shearing man. What do you reckon about it? Good? Hey? You gonna take it up one day either? Hey?
He'll be up there.
You want one of our guns left?
And then you go back and you tell all the family about, you know, what happened.
Oh, why didn't you tell us? Huh?
Oh, yeah. Half a dozen trainees.
We're gonna go and try to shear a sheep, eh?
No.
You?
No.
They said if the cutters are down too far, then they can break pretty bad. They can do some bad damage. You know, they can do some horrible damage. Yeah. Seems like a boy lock up and just cut his hand across here, I think. Straight across here. So yeah, it's pretty dangerous. You're not switched on, you know. You gotta be switched on. Don't grind your cutters too thin a day and put them on. Too dangerous.
What's the highest number you've shorn?
Oh, I can't remember. Lambs, I think I've done about, I don't know, maybe 163, I suppose. Yeah. You used to do about 120, just cruise along 120, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do 120, that's good money, huh? You know?
Very good money.
Very good money now. So, but yeah, you just plod along. Take your time.
Yeah, so.
Fill your comb up. Take the wool off properly. You know, so.
So what do you do? How do you shear? How do you prepare for the shearing?
Well, you got to get all your. Make sure you have good gear and good hand pieces. Yeah, so you got to have the right kind of gear for the right kind of shape, I think. Well, yeah, so just make it hard for yourself. You're hurting your back all day. Yeah. You got to grind them up properly. Do all the grinding, grind it up properly. So you get enough right spark out of it. If you get the right side of the sparks out of it, you should be right. But yeah. If you haven't grounded your gear properly, then you get your sheep to kick a lot. So it's just like yourself there. If you, with your shears that you got to cut your hair, if it's not sharp, well, you can feel it pinching and it's pulling your hair. Well, it's the same as the sheep. If you don't have your gear sharp, it'll pinch them. And that's why you get the kickness of them. And that's how they want to kick you. You know, so make sure all your gear's cutting right and set up right. There's only one way you can get up there.
Remember that year you hung up your boots?
Yeah, and so I wasn't coming back, huh?
Yeah, and next year you're back there taking them down again.
using them again, yeah. Oh, boy.
I'm hanging up my boots here.
I'm out of here.
Chucked them up over the...
Yeah, no, definitely up on
truss.
the rails.
Yeah.
On the rails of the truss of it all, I think.
Yeah, that was funny.
I never said I would come back. And how many years now has been back? Still here, Bruce?
Yeah. Fock and
it's been a while.
Yub were the first two, but you soon joined them.
Yeah, me and Johnny,
brother-in-law.
Yeah, me and Rugged come over then.
Yeah.
Me and Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny.
Which is no longer here, so.
Yeah.
Only a young man, eh?
Yeah.
A young man.
Yeah.
But there's a photo in this shed here actually, of John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rugged.
I don't know if did I shear in the shed here? I must have. No, I don't think I did.
I don't know that you did, no.
No, I don't think I did.
Rugged was here.
Yeah, Rugged was here.
Yeah.
I must have come here. Remember me, him and Jamie? I remember with me and Jamie Cox one year.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Jamie Cox came here one year.
Yeah.
Or started in the shed once.
Yeah.
And once I only wanted to be there. Yeah, no. It's good times.
Yeah, we got some good memories, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely good memories.
Yeah. Buddha and Bubba,
yes,
3 cousins,
yes,
they're swinging from the rafters. They're like monkeys, swinging from the rafters, weren't they?
Yeah,
we got a video of it somewhere. It was the funniest thing. They used to put on entertainment.
Yeah, no, definitely. They used to keep you going, right? All them kids, even our kids, huh?
Yeah.
The boys.
And who was that Bo? Remember
Young Bo, yeah. Oh, that's old bloke, that bloke.
And Tommy Woods.
Yeah.
He's gone, eh?
Young, old Tom. Yeah, old Tommy's gone. Did he come here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was he here? No, he wouldn't have been here when I was here. He must have been just before me. I suppose full of life, really. Full of life. But yeah, hopefully, you never know with these blokes here who's learning today. They might become, a stand. They might get a stand out of the shed here. Who knows? All depends on the big bloke and the boss, big Geoff Farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, never know.
You've never heard anyone like him. No. Talk about a character. Yeah, he made them all the boys laugh. And then when they had a football team, he was like the coach. He'd get them stirred up. His mother was Rosemary Armstrong Punch.
Right up here. That's it. Come back here again. Follow it all the way. Keep on that stitch. Bring him through. How about go back a little bit, but let him lean on his leg. How about now? Right, let me one leg back a bit. Put him forward a little bit. Put your hand right in there. That's better. You go around the leg, follow the leg around. That's it. You want you to go like that. Come back here. Oh, yeah, brilliant. How about that? No, you don't pull him. Stop. Aim up. And that's all finished. That's all finished there. You all right? Right, I'll just bring this here. That's all right. Put his leg up here. His leg here. And right around the front. That's all right. Put it all the way up there. All right. Keep the heavy first. Your leg. That's all right. And push up one leg back. Push that leg, your leg, just that one. That's right. That's it. His leg to be your leg. That leg back. That's right. Now lean him back. Lean your leg back. And you push him this way, see? That's right. That's better. No, that's it. That's right. That's better. All right. That's it. Put the handpiece there first. And just nice and steady. Right over here. Nice and steady. That's nice and steady. Up in. That's all right. Put him back down in there. That's it. Bring your leg around here. That's right. I'll show you around the front.
Good old days. Would have been good if you had a job, eh? You got a great food, you know? You get accommodation, you know? Over there, you get like one of those like what do you call it? You know, like Marty Brothers and all the like the
Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah, Punna and Shaden.
Just family gathering, you know, just a good time and experience for the future, and yeah, just how they grew up in the sheds and do what they did.
Yeah, basically just come out today to have a good family day, spend some time together and have some good experience to see what our elders did back in the day, and it's good for them to pass that down to us, and hopefully we can take it on board and pass it down to the next.
Yeah, just to let us share and experience what shearing is like. And
all of them there are pops, uncles, so they just tell us all the stories, yarns about how they were little and their uncles, pops, dads taught them, and now they just want to do the same to us.
it's like how to manoeuvre around the sheep, you know, with the handpiece. What it takes to shear the whole sheep. It's a lot of work, but it's good for you and for everyone that learns it. And me personally, I enjoy it. Yeah, and I'll keep doing it in the future too.
Basically, just be committed, never give up, have the good mindset, and
it's definitely not a job for lazy people. It's a fast job. You can't sit around all the time, you know. You have to, because if you don't have one person, the job won't get finished. So everyone needs to.
So just working as a team and never giving up, because it's not easy, you know. Because you have like maybe through the week you can have a sore back. You just gotta stay strong and mentally, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even he's looked after himself well, and his old boy is still doing it.
Yeah, I'm a young bloke, and it hurts me, and you can.
They make it look so easy.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And doing it today, hurt me, you know.
Yeah. I can't even do 3.
It was good enough to do 5, and I think I'll do it for today.
Yeah. It's amazing to see, like age, like considering how old he is, he can do what he does now. So, yeah, if you look after yourself, you can do a lot of things.
My grandfather used to work for Tim Saggers when he was younger. So he's telling all the yarns about how he used to shear, work on the farms, and he grew up in Kendenup. So it's good to come down and just for him to share it and stuff. And
yeah. My dad, he grew up here. He went to school here, but I haven't heard that he worked for Tim Saggers. I haven't heard that, but yeah, I've been.
But
I've come out a couple of times in the sheds and worked for Timmy.
It's just a good feeling to have your grandfather or your uncle or your dad along your side, watching you, helping you shear, you know, because it's just a really good feeling, you know, making them proud, following their footsteps, and that's all we want to do, just make them proud. Yeah, it's good to get a lot of the boys down to learn new things, you know, and they're not scared, so it's good for them to take it on board, and you know.
A lot of people turned up, and it's good. A lot of things got done today, good feed, it was a good experience for today.
Yeah, the family day, yeah. That's good. It's really good because all the family get to come together, spend time, and at the time we honour our ones that's passed, so just come all together and cherish the old ones, loved ones that we have now today, and just all come together and do a bit of sharing.
Yeah, lots of people come from all over, like this bloke flies in from Karratha just to come down here. So.
Just you know, because a lot of people don't last long, so it's good to have that family day. Well, it's good to have like that there, because most of the other times are funerals, and at least this is in a good way, you know, not in a bad way. So,
yeah, it's good to see our family and
having fun and yarning and stuff. But it's good to bring it all together and have that.
Yeah, because it's good to have all of our family here on a happy occasion instead of on a sad occasion. So, yeah, it's good to see our family here.
And being grateful for this experience. Hopefully take it on board in the future. And I could use it as a backup plan, you know. If you can't get a job in the city or something, just have that skill there, so you can just go shearing. Basically on break time, have yarn about what they did around here, hunting, all the Dreamtime stories, and just pass it down. A lot of them a bit lazy, and phones, Wi-Fi, internet, so it's good to get a lot of young fellas up today, and just get to the shearing.
Yeah, if I have a chance to go shearing, I'll do that. Yeah.
And you know, learning new things. That's another way of doing this. You know.
Yeah. It takes a lot of muscle to do this job, but at the end of the day, you get.
And just hearing the stories about how they would shear 100 a day, 200. Just doing one and hurt ya.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They can do 200 and it's like, what? Can't do that. Yeah.
Some of us boys get a bit competitive there. I won today, got 5 down. Yeah. Chopped them up.
I only got 2, but yeah, don't want to push myself too hard.
Never mind.
Yeah, I got 2.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess, you know, if any boys are watching this video and they think, shall we give it a go, what would you tell them?
I'll tell them.
It's a good job. It's a good job. It's fun.
Well, if you love money, go do it because it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good experience. It's something you can fall back on if you have that skill. If you do the skill while you're young and you can't get a job when you're older, you can always fall back on that. So yeah. Just do it.
Something worth learning. Yeah, that's what actually my mum. She loves the job. Yeah, she misses it just getting up early, have it with a tea, and then drive out to work, and work all day, and then at the end of the week you get a good pay and you work for your money, you know, and it's good. So. Yeah, she loves it and she likes doing it, and yeah, she went to university to get a wool classing, so yeah, she knows what she's talking about. So
they said if you really want to get into it, you know, you can travel with this. So it's not just somewhere down south or wherever you're at. You can actually travel around. So
yeah, you can get around the world.
Don't just think it's just somewhere where you are. You can actually travel around world and stuff for it. And yeah,
because I need shearers everywhere, so, and there's sheep everywhere, so you can go places.
Yeah, it was good experience, and just enjoyed it. It's pretty good. You know, you other boys, how'd you like it today?
It was good.
Pretty good.
Hunting day, wasn't it, Errol?
Oh yeah.
Hunting day.
It was a bit of a, we went hunting today too, so pretty fun. Yeah, a bit of a workout too. Bit of a workout. Yeah. 5 sheep, I think it's about 200 push-ups there. But yeah, it's good. And actually, getting all the pops and that there to teach you, it was good. Having the elders, you know, teach you. It was wicked.
Just look after yourself first. Put yourself first. Because if you hurt yourself,
you gotta look after each other. Work as a team and
watch the handpiece.
Won't touch it.
And just take notice of what they say about the safety of the area and stuff. Yeah.
You know when a big lizard jump on, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, you got something to say?
Come on now, you got something to say. Yeah. He's got that question. Hey, let's. What do you think about the safety today?
Yeah, it was alright.
Was there a lot of issues that went on or not?
No, not really.
Yeah, see, so it looked like everyone listened, and about the safety. So nothing went wrong today.
Jams up, they said it could just smash back on your dad, true, man.
And if it gets, a broom gets in between it, cut it right up and throw it.
That's like you jump on it today.
Nah, it's very dangerous, they said. So yeah.
It's not the safest thing.
Was that fun doing it?
Oh yeah. I had a lot of fun. It was dirty.
It's only fun.
Yeah, good day with the elders teaching us.
Only fun for you folks when you're not doing anything. That's the only fun part.
I think these boys, yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, no. Just let them be comfortable. And if they're comfortable, they'll sit there and chill and let you give them a haircut.
So
yeah, no.
True. This better not be going on TV. This entire thing's gonna be on bloopers. Use that at the end.
Hey, look at me. I'm walking backwards too.
You need some women thrown in here. A mile.
See you later, fellas. Champion. Have a good over.
Straight and narrow, man.
Holly, you have any news for us? Go on, just tell me. Talk to me, bro. Seriously, just talk to me. Seriously. I'm a twitch master.
Okay, careful.
Talk to me, bro. Is there any satisfying things you did today?
Where is he?
The crushing.
Oh, that's your boy.
Let's speak to me. How was your day?
Oh, yeah.
Was it satisfying? Yes, it was good. It was good. Okay.
Let's talk to him. You got to talk to him.
I did talk to him. Dude, you have to talk to me again. Ask me questions. You're supposed to ask me questions, but
We come too late.
Mom, how was your day today?
Oh, it was fantastic, thank you.
Dun, 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 so very interesting. Dun, dun, dun.